Our final learning module, Inspiring Skilled Trade Students to be Future-Focused, features Veronica Hurd, Director of the Academies of Hampton in Hampton, Virginia. The Academies of Hampton represent that city's effort to transform traditional public high school experience into an innovative model that prepares all students, linking academic courses to college majors and career sectors. Veronica Hurd talked to us about just how the Hampton Academies aims to deliver on that promise by helping students become future-focused, starting as early as the 9th grade. Students engage in thinking about their future by exploring who they are, who they want to become, and by developing a plan towards getting themselves there. Students also create 10-year plans for themselves that includes answering questions like, what's my mission in life? How do I define success? And what type of world is going to make me happy? We not only want them to feel excited about that diploma at the end of high school, Veronica says, Hampton Academies also wants to ensure that its students have the skill set necessary to propel them for whatever comes next. Once again, if you'd like to dig a little deeper into the topic of helping your skilled trade students become more future-focused, you'll find additional material in our resource library. You can click ahead via the main menu and use this added content to help you answer the relevant application questions with even more insight, or you can just explore it later as you wish.
We know once young people enter into high school, they come from being the oldest and the biggest on campus, right? And then they quickly realize that, whoa, this is a big high school experience. And so Freshman Academy allows our young people to be part of a small learning community. So they're with like peers, and they also have a team of teachers who are supporting them through this model. In addition to that, our young people have what's known as Success 101. So 90 minutes every day, our young people have the opportunity to explore who they are, who they want to become, and most importantly, start developing a plan towards getting themselves there. And so opening up the semester, right, the school year, they get to basically explore, who am I? So what does it look like to be Veronica? What does Veronica want to be? What's my mission in life? What do I define as success? What type of world is going to make me happy? And so it's really all about the young person, and the young person gets to go through this experience. Then from there, after they've learned a bit more about themselves, the things that I'm strong in, the things that I can improve on, and things of that nature, I then have the opportunity to start aligning and learning more about career opportunities that are out there. And say Veronica wants to be a welder, right? So then I get to learn more about this world of welding. What does it look like? What skills do I need to have to be successful in that field? And then as we keep scaffolding up, I get to then have the opportunity to take a deeper dive. Okay, if I want to be a welder, what type of financial stability will I have being a welder? What type of home will I have being able to be a welder? And things of that nature. So it starts to narrow the scope so they can really see what it looks like. And then what we have an opportunity for our young people is for either them to go see this world of welding, or even to do a challenge-based learning experience over the summer where they get to demonstrate a skill set that a challenge may be that the welder is actually experiencing. So it really wraps them around, okay, Veronica, not only do I want to be a welder, I am going to be a welder, and this is the world that I'm going to work in one day. I'm lucky enough to have a young person who's actually going in, developing their 10-year plan right now, and so I had the behind-the-scenes look at what it really looks like. And so for us, sometimes it sounds overwhelming, right? You start working on your 10-year plan and they barely want to make their beds or something like that, right? So this is, again, scaffolding it, where when we're doing a certain section in the classroom, they come back to this electronic version of the 10-year plan. And so they're larger, lofty thinkings, like I mentioned earlier, what's your definition of success? And so pulling from those nuggets of what success means to a young person, then you can see what other things are going to help them to become successful. And so they're constantly building on it, and along the lines with the curriculum that's tied to it as well. It's one thing for young people to understand their skills and what they're strong at, but also keeping in mind they're 14 and 15 years old. So you don't want to be limited by the fact that I may be not strong in math right now, but it doesn't mean with the right skills and development I can't be. And so it's this happy medium between, okay, here's something that I'm strong at and things of that nature, but here's a career field that I'm interested in, and you need to be strong in X, Y, Z to be successful. And so now, since I am 14, 15 years old, I have a number of years to improve on that skill so I can enter in that field and be successful. So not only does it create spaces for them to see their strengths and weaknesses, but it also creates an opportunity for them to improve on those spaces, especially if it aligns with a future career goal that they may have for themselves. It's basically a network of support, right? So it's not just a student, it's not just a teacher. And so they're part, again, of that small learning community. So they have an academy principal, they have an academy counselor. Of course, you have your team of teachers. So not only do you have your Success 101 teacher, you also have your English teacher, your science teacher, and others. And so everyone has access to this 10-year plan. And so if I'm having a conversation about Veronica, I can actually pull up Veronica's plan and see, oh, Veronica, I know that you want to be a welder. So do you know that to be in welding, you're probably going to have to work a little harder on your mathematics skills or something along those lines. And so we can have concrete conversations around what's in that plan that makes us it humanizes the process, right? So now I'm like, oh, you really do know me actually right now, and things of that nature. But the evaluation process is primarily the Success 101 teacher is guiding them through the curriculum and things of that nature, and then grading them at checkpoints, right? But overall, everyone's using this as a point of reference around the student, but then also the student themselves. And then also we're getting to the place where we're encouraging parents to access the reports too, so they can have a deeper understanding of what their students' career aspirations may be, because sometimes people don't have these conversations at home, but it gives them a nice place to start exploring what their young person wants to be, who they want to become, and then a parent can help them along their way as well. So just like everyone else, right, our 10-year plans, they have to be fluid, because it cannot be, okay, that's your plan and no veering, that's it, you're done forever. It cannot be that. So every year as we move up the model, the young people will actually go back in their plans and make them more finite or whatever that looks like for them. So this year we did actually something unusual and very empowering. Our young people, so now our freshmen, they entered into their 10th grade. And so what we did, we had our young people in their 10th grade, they opened back their My 10-Year Plan up again, and we had curriculum developed in their English 10 classes that had the young people to reflect on their journey, and then again they'll go back in their 11th grade year, and then their 12th grade year they'll go back in again. And so the goal is by 2021, or when they're 12th graders and they graduate, not only do they graduate with a diploma, but they have a plan of action that's going to reach them to whatever they define as their personal success. There's so many different careers that young people just are not aware of. So even just helping your young people to be exposed to different careers that they may not see every day, but then also really creating a space for the young person to just reflect. Let them have time to reflect on who they are, where they're trying to go, and how they're going to get there. Just creating that space and offering that opportunity for them to just reflect may create avenues for them to mobilize on careers that they would never even been aware of before. Also, it's really important for our teachers to get out in the field and have externship experiences so they can see for themselves how to apply what's going on in their classroom in the real world. And so we have business partners who have partnered up with teachers to support them in their role in the classroom, but we're also taking teachers out so they can see it for themselves. And then of course, ongoing just professional development and support for our teachers as they go through this transformation. Our community have been flooding our doors, basically wanting to get involved because they want to start investing in their future employees now instead of later. Because we're not only saying, come join us, but we're asking them, what do our young people need to know, do, and understand to be successful in your field? And then from that very question, they help us to reshape the curriculum, the different certifications that our young people have at the point of when they're ready to transition off to high school, and things of that nature. So business community, when they become more aware of what we're trying to do here and how we're trying to do it with fidelity, they want to get engaged, and they know it's important for them to be engaged because it helps them sooner rather than later.